I watched.
Test. What? You watched
That
what?
sounds good to me.
He's
Are
trying to
you
record.
recording? Okay, got it.
Okay, sorry. What's your? You watched something?
I watched your video. I made it through through an hour and some change. So through most of the character creation, everything, but I didn't really get to the gameplay portion.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. We can. Yeah, I mean, honestly, gameplay wise, at least level 1, like we could totally just jump straight into it. But I think since you're here, I can actually. You know what? Since you're here, I can go over real quick. Okay, so the way combat works in D&D is that it's turn-based. You're going to see a window pop up here that says turn order. Oh, ignore all that. I was testing some macros. So it's turn-based, and the way to determine the turn order is for every unit and player involved to roll the roll initiative. So for you guys, how you do this is you want to make sure you have your tokens selected, and this is very important. Otherwise, you will not see your turn show up in this turn order window. So reminder, you can quickly access your journal and select your token by Alt double click. And once you have Alt double clicked in your character sheet, around the top, you should see a box that says initiative. So Odin, in your character sheet, it's 2.14. The decimal is just there for tiebreaker purposes. It's not a real decimal, but it corresponds to your dexterity attribute score. So in case someone else rolls the same initiative as you, the higher decimal gets precedent. So with your token selected, you can just click on the word initiative, and it should automatically roll initiative for you. So there you go. Odin, you rolled a 16.14. I guess 16.
How'd you do that?
You click on the word initiative
In
your character sheet. Yes, with your token selected.
Click and drag to roll the dice.
Wait. Clicked it on my sheet, but nothing's happening.
Do you have your
I
character
rolled the
selected?
I have
18,
to
but it
actually
didn't-
click the word initiative, not just the
Yes,
box.
you have to click the word, not the box.
I saw it highlight after that. Okay.
And
So I
so,
rolled the 18, but it didn't show up like everybody else's did.
right. So make sure you have your token selected, Dynasty.
Click on your
This
person.
is my
Yep.
token.
Yep, click it. Now click the initiative.
There you are.
Why are you making it... What setting do you have that's forcing you to roll the dice like that?
I think it's in settings, and if you don't have the box that says automatically roll 3D dice, you'll have to like click and drag for immersion purposes or whatever. I don't know.
Hello? Okay, so I'll click automatically roll the dice. I don't have to do that.
Hey, guided. So you roll for initiative, and now I will just sort from highest to lowest. Person with the highest score goes first, obviously, and we'll have you fight each other just for practice. Okay, so right now, Galadriel goes first. So, in general, in combat, just there's like terminology and stuff, and I'll go over really quickly. When it's your turn, you will basically, for the most part, be taking an action. And what constitutes an action are things like attacking or casting a spell, or more thoroughly interacting with an object, like for example, opening a door would not constitute an action because that's pretty quick, but if you wanted to pick a lock to open a door, that could be considered an action, that sort of stuff. So again, for the most part, you're going to be attacking and moving. Moving itself is part of your turn. It does not take up your action, and you can see how much you can move by, again, going to your character sheet, which you might as well just like have open all the time, because you're going to be referring it to a lot. You can minimize it by double-clicking the header if you want to like close it up. So your movement is determined by your speed. So in Galadriel's character sheet, you can see that the speed is 30, which means that per round of combat, you can move 30 feet. On the map, you should see grids. Each square represents 5 feet, including diagonal movement. And a neat shortcut you can do to measure movement is if you click and drag your token and press Q, it's going to plop down a little distance marker that shows you how far you're moving. And you can actually break up your movement by pressing Q multiple times in different places. So that's a neat little thing. I'm not going to be too anal about speeds. I'm just, as long as you're not teleporting across the map, it's just, I'll trust that you guys are moving appropriate distances. So, since it's your turn, why don't you go ahead and make an attack? So why don't you first tell me what you want to do, and I'll guide you through that process. So again, in your character sheet, right below your hit point maximum, there is a box called attacks and spellcasting. Out of those 4 things, what do you want to do?
Poison spray, short sword, longbow. Pick one.
Longbow, I guess.
Okay, so what do you want to use your longbow against?
I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing.
So let's just say you're fighting Odin right now, right?
Okay.
So let's say you shot your longbow at Odin. So attacks, physical attacks at least, magical attacks are a separate thing. But in general, attacks are going to have 2 components. There is the actual attack component, which you can think of as the striking component. Basically, were you able to actually hit your enemy or pierce their armor or whatever? And the second component is the damage. So in the chat, so whenever you click a physical attack in this little attacks and spellcasting box, it'll automatically roll both components. You can see it rolls a d20 for the attack, and it rolls, I guess that's a what is that? A d8 for the damage, or a d10? I'm not really sure. Oh, Odin rolled that, so that's a d10. So again, going back to Dynasty's roll, she rolled a 9 on attack, and you can see if an attack hits by comparing it to the target's AC. So Odin's AC, which stands for armor class, Odin's AC is 13, which means that although you attacked Odin, your attack does no damage. So maybe your arrow bounces off his armor or something. If you rolled higher than a 13, in this case, Odin would actually take damage, and the damage he would take would be 7 piercing damage. They specify damage types because some enemies have resistances to certain kinds of damage. That's why that's there. But that's pretty much combat. You can also see above your token, I have an ammo tracker. That's just there for convenience. I'll bring that back up to 20. But you can manage that yourself. For characters that use ammo, sort of on the right column of their character sheet, there's a box. In this case, it's for you as labeled arrow, but it may be different depending on what resource you're using. That's pretty much combat in a nutshell. You're going to be moving and attacking. You are also more than welcome to suggest something, and I have to resolve it. So, for example, maybe you didn't want to make an attack from that box. Maybe you wanted to shove Odin, right? And then I would have to come up with an idea or a method to resolve that. So I would probably ask you to make a strength check, and Odin would also enter a strength competition or whatever. The specific stuff, each thing will be case by case, but if that shows up, I can guide you through that, but it's pretty simple. That's pretty much combat. Once your turn is over, it goes to the next person. So the next person would be Odin. He gets to do whatever he wants. And we go down the list, and we go until people are dead, pretty much. So that's combat in a nutshell. It's super simple. Again, we'll go through a sample module so everybody has a chance to sort of get used to combat. There is, of course, the other part of D&D, which is the role-playing and the storytelling part. I would argue equally important as the gaming. Where's Koi? Oh, on her way. Okay. So that's combat. We can also go over some other general stuff. So again, with your character sheet open, notice that you can click on a lot of things to auto-roll for it. So going back to the example where, let's say you wanted to shove... Oh my goodness, you have such high strength, Galadriel. Let's say you wanted to shove something, right, or use your body to break down a door. I might ask you to make a strength check. So in this case, you go to the left side of your character sheet, and you click on the word strength. So Eternal just did that. It'll automatically roll the dice and add the appropriate modifier. So Dynasty, you rolled a 9, and you add 2 to that because your strength modifier is 2. So the result of your strength check is 11. Now, there's a different kind of roll called a saving throw, and you can see that box just to the right. This is basically going to be the appropriate modifier on top of your proficiency bonus, which is right above that box. So again, when you roll for these will depend on, I'll ask for you to roll for them, so like don't worry about remembering, oh, should I do a strength check roll or a saving throw or whatever. I will tell you, hey, make a dexterity saving throw. If you wanted to make a dexterity saving throw, instead of clicking dexterity in the attribute box, you just click it in the saving throw box. Yep, and you can see in the chat output it's listed as a dexterity save. So that's that. Same thing with the various different skills, like acrobatics check, animal handling check, insight check, all that stuff. I will tell you what you need to roll when. If you have questions, of course, just ask me. But pretty much, like, I'll just straight up tell you, like, hey, make a strength check or make a strength saving throw or acrobatics check, stuff like that. And you just click on the appropriate text and it will automatically roll it for you. Other than that, I guess the other clickable things in here that are important in the bottom right, features and traits. This might just be good to look at through in your own time because each class has different unique things that sets them apart. Like bards have bardic inspiration, rogues have sneak attack, stuff like that. If you're not sure what something does, you just click on the text here. If you want to output it to the box, you click on the little chat bubble. But most of the time you don't have to do that. And if you accidentally do it, it's fine, but I would refrain from doing it just to keep the chat log clean, because it's mostly going to be dice rolls in there, and when there's like so many things going on, it can get a little confusing. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I should talk about death saves. That's important. So your death saving box is right below your hit point box. You can see it has sort of 3 tick marks for successes and failures. So when you fall to 0 hit points, you enter a state of unconsciousness where you're not dead, but you can permanently die. And so what happens is that if you are in combat reduced to 0 hit points, when it's your turn, you roll a straight d20, and you can roll a straight d20 by going all the way to the top left of the map UI and hovering over the d20 icon and just clicking the word d20. That'll just roll a straight d20. If you roll... Oh, I said I had to check this last time. Let me check real quick. If you roll 10 or higher, you get a success. So you would just check a success tick mark. And if you get below 10, you get a fail. After 3 successes, they don't have to be in a row. They can just be total successes. After 3 successes, you stabilize at 1 hit point. And at 3 failures, your character's dead permanently. If you roll a natural 20, that counts as an immediate success. Like you just straight up stabilize yourself. And if you roll a natural 1, that counts as 2 failures. And those rules differ a little bit from game to game, but that's what we're going with here. Very important. If you permanently die, it doesn't mean you as the player are out of the game. It could be in the future that there's like some resurrection mechanic, or we just straight up make a new character for you. And it's like, your previous character died. That's just how it is. So don't be worried. Like you're not out of the D&D group if your character dies, if that makes any sense. Yeah, that's all the important stuff. At the very top of your character sheet, you see little buttons for advantage, normal, disadvantage. That, I'll let you know when you need to click on those. Don't worry about that for now. And then you also have core bio spells. Those are the different tabs, because there's a lot of different things. If you need to take any notes down, I would recommend taking them down in the bio tab, because you can actually type things here and just use whatever you need. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. If I click on the tab, it can actually change things. Spells, I think out of all the new players, only Dynasty has spells to worry about, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Right now you have a single cantrip called Poison Spray. I think just sort of to get straight into things, we don't have to talk about like spell slots and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that until I think level 3 or something as a ranger. Okay, any questions? It's a lot.
Oh, so fucking much, man.
It's a lot, but I will say that as you play, like, you'll get the hang of it, and there will always be new things that neither I as the DM have considered or you as the player, and when those show up, we'll work through it together. But pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much the entire game. So I guess just some housekeeping things. before we get started, you can change the master volume in case the music's too loud in the top right tab in your settings tab. And here you can also get rid of the annoying avatars in the lower left corner. It's one of the settings. You can play around with that, but you can just fool around with that one if you want. Here you can also change your display name, which I see everybody has done, so that's very good. And also in the bottom left where the names are, if you click the little square color, you can change the color of you basically. This is like your default color for drawing things or pinging things or your dice. I would recommend you probably make separate colors, but again, it's not going to be too much of an issue if they're similar. You can ping your party by holding left click, which I'm sure we've all accidentally done at least once if you've just held your left click too long. Yeah, that's it. So that's the super quick and dirty crash course. We will learn as we go, but I'd like to welcome you all to Heathen Horde's first official D&D night. Going over house rules. Yeah. Try not to roll your dice too much. It does clutter up the text chat. And when you do roll, just give the web some time to complete your roll. Sometimes it lags a little bit. If it's like a long time, then you can re-roll, but really try to stick with your first roll, just so you don't game the system. Other than that, yeah, I will start us off by, I guess, asking. So last week, we started a sample module because it was just sort of a way to get the hang of things. We can either finish that up and I can put all the new characters in there, or we can go straight into the sort of story and a setting that I've created. I'll leave that up to you guys.
Let's go into your story.
All right. Well, hearing no objection, I will just go straight into what I've created, which for now we will stay on this page and do a little bit of character building in regards to that. Okay, let me just move things around so we don't have to worry about it. All right. So, all 6 of you are adventurers, and upon happenstance, happen to meet up in the Locals Adventurers Guild, and they've, after some talking and discussing, the Adventurers Guild has assigned all of you to investigate a help request from a local town named Greenhorn. On the sort of help request, they discuss an issue with missing persons, but don't go into any further detail. So all 6 of you at the crack of dawn head out on your traveling wagon together. None of you have met each other, so why don't we take some time to go around, briefly introduce who you are, your character, why you're an adventurer. Let's just go around and do that first. Now's a good time to come up with names if you don't have it, or you can just stick with who you are. Let's start with Guided.
Okay, so character name is Isarya, and she is a halfling sorc who likes learning as much as she can while she's out on her journeys. She is trying to be fluent in several languages so that she can make a whole bunch of friends and family to kind of fill the void of leaving her family behind to go adventuring. One of those is communicating with animals or kind of getting a feel for them. She likes adventuring, but she's kind of cautious in new environments, so she's kind of hesitant at first, but will kind of dive right into new things when she feels that she's comfortable enough and safe. And that's it.
Excellent. Why don't we go with Koi?
Okay, so my character is gonna be Flinty, the Gnome Bard. So, used to be a mercenary, and I'm also a psychopath, so I have trouble empathizing with people, which is why mercenary is easy for me, but I'm trying to learn how to empathize with people, and so I'm chaotic neutral.
Excellent. Next up is Jarius.
My character's name is Wheelin. He is an orc rogue who is, he's looking for, as his name implies, the best wheels and steels. He comes from a family of orcs, and essentially a civilization that prides itself of technically inventing and improvising these wheels and steels, and so he is just basically looking for them. As for why he became a rogue, he thinks that he can just take wheels and steels, I guess.
Cool. Why don't we go to Eternal?
My name is Ganondorf. I'm a half-orc barbarian. I used to be a part of the Knights of the Myth of Draenor. That was a famous adventuring band. The adventuring band used to go all across the world helping people. They were each accepted by one of the seven sisters, and we were all valiant and honest players. I've been removed from the Knights of the Myth of Draenor at this time, and I'm trying to basically find my path now.
Odin.
I'm Odin, human fighter. I came from a village of farmers. I am just wandering the countryside looking for adventure. My character is innately in tune with animals, and he's very quiet and sticks to himself.
And finally, Dynasty.
Okay, my character's name is Galadriel, and I am a high elf ranger. I was raised as part of the nomadic tribe. We wandered around and were friends with dwarves and humans and elves, and then one day a conquering force came in and subjugated us, and we were forced to go live in a town with many older people, and they really didn't care about anything or do anything, and our situation became dire, so I decided to run away. And I became a guide to smugglers who were helping my people, as well as a small uprising against the conquering forces. And yeah, I'm kind of now just a wanderer, and yeah, that's about it.
Oh, excellent. I love it. I love all of your backstories. I'm taking juicy notes so I can, because this is a collaborative storytelling game, it's very much, your stories are as much a part of the plot as whatever I create. So, all right. So let me get started then. All right, there we go. Everybody has no problem seeing the map, right? I placed you all on the far right.
Josie, I'm sorry. What is the option to remove the avatars in the lower left?
Yep, top right settings. If you scroll down below game settings, you can disable the speaking as avatar, and also the player video / avatar size. You can change that to name only.
Out of character.
Perfect, thank you.
I really like the Costco.
Yeah. Let me just get all the settings set here. All right, here we go. Tired and weary from your journey, you all roll into Greenhorn on your sort of little wagon, and yeah, I mean, you are here to investigate the missing persons request. Just sort of a quick check of where everything is. On the right, you see a bustling market, and very curiously, a tent over some strange stone fixture with words on top that you're not quite sure. You understand the fantasy part, but Costco? Caustic? You know, what is that word? On the left, a tavern, the doors swinging open and close as patrons enter and exit. Just further ahead, across the bridge, you notice a large building, which you assume to be maybe a town hall of sorts. And further beyond that, you can sort of see the civilian district. There's a church just to the north. But at this point, it's completely up to you guys what you want to do. Which is pretty much now it's your turn to decide what you want to do.
And we just met.
Yeah, you just met. I mean, I guess you've been on this wagon for a couple days now.
Oh.
Can we
Wow,
go in the tavern and
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm tired. Let's go get a pint. Maybe I can pull out my bagpipes.
we can
Agreed, could definitely
interrogate
use a
the
drink.
people that are question the people that are in the bar and see if they've heard anything about the missing people.
Sounds good. So, I noticed, Jarius, you're moving one by one. So when you're not in combat, like when you're just in an overland map, you can totally just click and drag. Movement's not a big deal. If you want to move into the tavern, you totally can. Also, you do not have to cave into peer pressure. If you don't want to go in the tavern, you don't have to do that. Okay, well, I guess we're all in the tavern.
Oh no. We're drinking.
We all want to drink.
Get in line, y'all.
As you enter the door, you see a portly, sort of elderly but friendly woman look at your way, and, you know, she sort of greets you, and, let's see. She says, "Well, new faces. Haven't seen you around town here before. I'm assuming y'all are adventurers."
Bathroom.
Bathroom's just in the middle corridor, sweetie.
So I figured I'd ask before our friend does, and when he gets back. Do you have wheels and steels for him?
I don't personally deal in that sort of stuff, but you're always free to check out the market during the daytime. I'm sure people over there would be more than happy to get you sorted with your situation, but that's an oddly specific request, I might say. Are any of you hungry or thirsty? Can I get you anything to drink?
Can I have a sex on the beach?
I want a stout because I'm short.
I want water and an iron tankard.
All right, so she brings you out your drinks. Jarius, she sort of looks apologetic to you and says, "Fortunately, I don't have an iron tankard, sweetie, but I hope this wooden one will do."
I appreciate the
Hey,
design on this.
Miss Bartender. I'm a bard. Can I play for my friends here?
Yeah, stage is yours for the taking, hun.
Aw, yeah.
You sort of walk up towards the fireplace, and you know, it's sort of maybe mid-afternoon. There's not too many people, but everybody else sort of glances up, looks at you, and they go back to nursing their drinks or their meal or whatever.
Can I perform my bagpipes? Do I have to roll?
You
Say how
absolutely
long.
can. Yeah, you will have to roll performance.
Okay. Alright. Let's go.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
What do you play?
Well, with bagpipes.
What song do you play?
Don't Stop Believing. The bagpipes.
All right. Flinty raises the bagpipes to her lips and unleashes probably one of the best, I guess maybe the only rendition of Don't Stop Believing that anybody's heard in Faerun. And you do so successfully that sort of the patrons that looked even uninterested are actually watching and listening with great intent.
I mean, what do you expect? It's Don't Stop Believing on Bagpipes.
What's everyone else doing?
What's the strongest drink you have?
The barkeep sort of gives you a side eye and smirks and says, one order of the secret sauce for the good sir here. And she goes back. She disappears for a bit, assuming preparing your drink.
You're gonna get lost.
I hope it's good.
That
Oh.
sounds.
Let's go find the best
I
wheels
would
and
like-
steels.
To ask this gentleman sitting next to me in an orange shirt if he has heard anything about some missing people around town.
That's
Odin, you're gonna die.
So you take a seat at the bar and you turn to your left and you notice a what seems to be sort of a elf woman dressed in sort of these I wouldn't say long flowing robes, but maybe like a key, I think they're called, sort of get up. And she's just sort of she's smiling a little bit. You can tell that Flinty's song has definitely cheered up a bit. Why don't you begin the conversation?
Hi.
Your friend's pretty good at the bagpipes, isn't she?
So bad at this, yeah. I was wondering if you had heard anything about missing people in the town,
She
or any rumors, or
this, I think the little smile on her face disappears a little bit, and she sort of with her two hands clasps the drinks in her hands and gazes down at her laps, and she says, "I'm guessing y'all are here about the notice that our mayor put out, huh?"
and what did it say?
So the notice, you got the notice back at the Adventurers Guild, but it was pretty much just like all it said is help needed, missing persons, Greenhorn.
Have you seen any new people in the town recently, or do you have any guesses on who went missing?
So she turns to you and says, "I'm gonna be honest, and something strange is going on with the mayor and with this whole missing persons thing. I really think he's hiding something. You know, the notice made it seem like that this was sort of a recent event, and don't get me wrong, it was horrible. 20 people sort of seemed to vanish into thin air, but people have been going missing for quite some time now, and I mean, I've been personally trying my darndest. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name's Immy, but you can just call me Immy. But a couple.
Thank you, Immy.
That's a
Cup-
pretty Parker's name.
Like maybe like half a year ago, my neighbor went missing, and it's just the strangest thing, because he never really strayed too far from the town. He wasn't necessarily one to go out. He was a librarian. Spent most of his time in the town. Was a nice, friendly face. Not really sure why anybody would. I don't know. It's just weird. And it was one time we sent out a search party. Couldn't find anything. And if it was just a one-time thing, then that all there'd be to it. Mayor chalked it up to an unfortunate thing. But lately, the disappearances have been getting a little too frequent for my taste. And if I'm going to be honest, I don't think the mayor is doing a very good job. So just during this conversation, you get the impression that this elf, she has been working on this for a long time, and that's clear from her distress. And she's getting sort of like visibly more and more agitated, and she starts saying like, nobody else seems to care. Like, it's just, they stopped telling us about missing people. Obviously, with the recent one, you can't just ignore the fact that like 20 people are gone. But every other instance, like, a little lost child here, a disappearing mother there, just, I don't know, something's not right. I think he's hiding something. She sort of looks back down at her drink and she says, I have to go, I'm sorry. And she just rushes out the door.
Wow. Maybe we should find this mayor.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, Odin.
Did anybody catch that person's name?
Immy's?
So Galadriel know that it's Immy. Yeah.
Immy.
Immy. Yep.
We should talk to the barkeep about this Immy person. Also, where the hell's my drink?
Sorry for the wait, dearie. One secret sauce? She plants it down, and you stare at this. It's like fizzling and popping, and the stench of like just raw alcohol is almost overwhelming for any normal human. Actually, Odin, why don't you make a Constitution check for me?
Fucking nailed it.
The drink slides under your nose, and like you just like bask in the scent, and you faceplant onto the bar, unconscious.
Oh, great.
I think we're gonna need to help him.
I will carry him.
We're gonna have to carry him to the mayor's office.
Seems to be a normal reaction. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Does
I do,
anyone know
but-
any medicine?
I already made a promise to take Odin to the Costco.
The barkeep says, apologies for eavesdropping, but I couldn't help but notice that you're looking for the mayor's office. If you just cross the bridge, it's the first building on your right, dearies.
I don't know if we should walk in there with a passed out person.
Oh, I'm sure he'll wake up soon.
Aw.
Can we like tap him on the cheek or something?
Can I,
or, like, hit him?
Can I dump a Waterskin on him?
Yeah. I think was it Guided who talked first? Guided, why don't you tap him on the cheek lightly? Why don't you make why don't you make a medicine check?
Okay. Trying to remember where that is at.
It's gonna be all the skills on the left hand side. There should be one for medicine. You tap him lightly, but he does not respond. Eternal, do you want to try dumping water on him?
Yes, I do.
Let's see. I mean, I guess it's weird because I don't think there's really a role associated with that. But you ask the barkeep for a bucket of water, and you splash it on Odin's head, and Odin sort of wakes up. He goes like, huh? Yeah. I mean, you're awake but wet.
Oh no, we're going to the mayor's office.
That was some good shit. We should go
You
in
didn't
the
even
back.
drink any. You just smelled it. And
Do you
were
still
Listen.
want this, hun?
I
He said
know
what he
some
said.
quality stuff. I think we need to take some to go.
I mean, seeing as you're new in town, I'll let you take this one on the house.
I want a keg of it.
I think if you want a keg of it, dear, I'll have to charge you for that.
Can I roll to seal it?
Kick water.
You want to steal a keg?
I'll
Hey,
roll a
Gandalf.
keg.
Hey Gandalf, you got a minute? We can just go check out the restrooms real quick.
Yeah, I'm going with Odin to the restrooms.
All right. That's the kitchen. Oh, there you go. All
Gotta go around the door, Odin.
We know where we're going. We know where we're going.
I know what a restroom is.
All right, Odin. If you're actually sneaking into the kitchen, can you make a stealth check?
Stuck in there? Alright.
Hold on, I gotta find.
Perfect.
Uh-oh.
All right, both you and Ganondorf make a stealth check. Okay. The barkeeper sort of stays at the bar, and she smiles, polishing some dishes. And so I guess you notice sort of a ladder leading downwards, and if you want to go there, you totally can.
Alright, which of these kegs do you think has the stuff in it?
Are all the kegs kept in the basement? Or is this
So
one
there's
in front
two
of
barrels
us?
up there. I can let's see. I can make you roll for something here. Why don't you, if you want to try and figure out which keg had the drink, why don't you
Roll an
make
investigation check?
an investigation check? Yes.
Nailed it.
Do you want us both to roll?
Yeah. If you're both looking for it.
Oh, dude, we're on a mission.
Partners.
All
in
right.
crime.
Ganondorf, it's very slight, but you can sort of make out that smell coming from this direction.
Can you ping it one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, in this direction. Odin, you smell it, but you're not sure where it's coming from.
Is it the giant fucking keg?
Only one way to find out.
Hey,
would-
do you still have that empty Waterskin? Can we throw some in there
Yes.
and take it with us?
Can I play a song to distract the bartender?
Sure, play for performance.
Okay.
Although she's sufficiently not aware because they passed the stealth check, I
Fucking
think.
Awesome.
I am going to leave the tavern very quickly.
The best performance.
Flinty rolled a 21, which is better than
Flinty
her last
rolled a
performance.
21, so she's just going at it at her bagpipes. Like some of the patrons are crying, because it's so beautiful.
Okay, I would say
Alright,
this
Gandalf.
bartender
Can we-
is thoroughly distracted.
Can
You have
we
nothing better to do at
just
midnight than wash a
grab this
fucking
keg
car? Hey,
and
I have a
both
great
of us
idea.
team lift this thing out?
Yes.
I'm just gonna say, if you want to try and carry this thing out, that's gonna require a hell of a stealth check, my guy.
I'll roll a strength
To
check
get
for
past
that.
the door and literally everybody.
I want to roll a strength check to break through the back wall and take it out.
Okay. Let's. Why don't one of you? Okay. Hold on. Let me make the strength check and a stealth check to see if you can somehow break this wall down without notifying anybody. A strength check, not strength save.
Oh, Jesus.
That's great save. Yeah, you gotta
No,
roll
not-
the check.
Yes, there it is.
Okay, so you. All right. So... okay, can you also roll for stealth?
Odin's licking the wall. That's about it.
Where's this?
The
Yeah.
left, the big silent
guys-
numbers.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So,
Fucking
you see Ganondorf with like literally no inhibition, just start straight up sprinting towards the far end of the kitchen. and he slams into the wall and falls on his back. And the barkeep sort of peeks her head around, and she's like, "What in the hell are you doing back there, sweetie?" Odin, you also run at the wall, but you sort of like fall underneath the keg, out of sight. And the barkeep gets back there, and she's like, "Nah, usually a nice woman, but I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Otherwise, I'm gonna call the guards down here. What were you trying to do back there?"
Can I intimidate her?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can. You
I
roll
can
for
intimidate an old lady.
intimidation.
All right,
Direct
I'm
to
gonna
Costco.
roll an intimidation check.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, what do you say?
I say, it's time for you to leave. This is our bar now.
Oh my god. Oh.
Not our mission.
Okay. I think she squints at you kind of menacingly before leaving the kitchen, and oops, I exited the campaign. I'll be right back. That's my mistake. Should be fine. You all should still be fine. You see her leave the kitchen, and everybody else, you see her run out the door. Where is Wheelie Steely? Oh, okay, excellent.
He's at
So
Costco.
Wheelie, you see her walk up to the nearest guard and whisper something, and this guard calls over the other two guards by your location and start moving towards the tavern.
I am going to approach the guards and hold on. Hey, do you know how very sus the mirror is?
The guard sort of says, or what are you trying to do here?
I guess it's just like both distracting and getting information from the guards then.
So here's the part where I'm going to be a little nitpicky. Do you know what's going on in the tavern?
The tavern.
Right, but do you actually? Okay, that's true. I guess you left the tavern after you saw them enter the kitchen. Roll deception. Okay. The guard looks at you and says, "Stand back, citizen. There seems to be some trouble in the tavern," and they continue making their way into the tavern. Is anybody else doing anything?
I'm still playing the pipes, man.
All right, Flinty is just pouring her soul into her music.
I want. Hold on. For the guards into the tavern, I want to keep pestering the guards.
I'm gonna say since you failed your deception check, you are not able to do that anymore.
Can I at least intimidate the guards by accusing them of hiding something?
Yeah, I guess you can roll for intimidation. This is a good time to say now, by the way, that even if you roll really high, a success doesn't mean that you get what you want. Let me just be very clear about that.
To be fair, don't you think that hiding stuff from the mayor with all these missing people is not very legally good?
So the guard that's close to the tavern turns around and says, Hey, Ken, can you just, like, hold on to him? Like, he's kind of interfering with official business here. And the guard that's right next to Wheelie says, all right, come on, let's go. And roll, he's going to try and bind you. Do you want to try and resist?
No, I want to look at the handcuffs.
Okay, he takes out his fantasy handcuffs and starts handcuffing you.
Handcuffs made of iron or steel?
He looks at you with a quizzical face, and he just sort of restrains you in that spot. All right.
This is against my rights.
Can I
I was just asking a question.
can I go over there and kind of see? From where we're at, can we hear the commotion outside, or do I have to get closer?
You start to see. So you see the barkeep come back in, and behind her, you see one guard enter the tavern and another one just outside.
Okay. So I'm thinking, oh crap, something's going on. We've got guards in here. Are we aware of Odin and Eternal stealing stuff?
Let me check real quick. I believe I need to go back and check their roles. Okay, so you know that Ganondorf went into the kitchen, but you don't know where Odin is.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna go over there to distract, to see, just in case that they're doing something they're not supposed to.
Okay, distract the guards?
Oh my god, sorry. Reagan! Shh. Yeah, or kind of see what's going on.
Okay,
So I'm gonna
yeah,
over to the
so,
door.
okay, yeah, sounds good. So are you talking to them, or are you, like, intentionally distracting them?
I want to see what's going on first, so I'll be like, hey, noticed you're here. You weren't here before. Why?
Okay, I see. So the bark, you see, you, I think you're within earshot. You hear the barkeep say, he's in the kitchen, and they sort of ignore you and start marching towards the kitchen.
Eternal, we should fill our pockets and get the hell out of here.
I agree.
Try to fill our little skin sack.
Our explorer's pack and our backpack.
Okay. Okay.
My skin
I
sack.
go in the back and just warn them and say, "Hey guys, there's some soldiers in here."
I think you're not faster than the soldiers from where you're standing, so you are not going to make it. Odin, from underneath the barrel, you can definitely tell this is the good stuff. Why don't...
Can we have Koi, can we have Flinty just do some rowdy music to kind of warn them and be like, hey.
Nah, I just keep playing.
And here's the part where you learn that even though you're part of the same group, you may not be a team.
I'm just neutral to my music.
I guess, no, you don't have to roll anything to fill up the wineskins. All right, you start filling up the wineskins, and let's say, just as you're about finished, you see the guards right outside the kitchen door. What do you do?
I'm gonna jump in this hole.
Okay. What about you, Eternal?
1 second. Sorry, I'm reading some. So how does rage work with the barbarian class?
Well, we're not in combat right now, but basically, and let me just quickly Google this to make sure I'm correct.
Eternal's about to be in combat with that wall.
So on my turn, I can enter rage as a bonus action, right? So then while I'm raging, I can gain benefits if I'm not wearing any heavy armor, which I don't believe I am. So I have an advantage on strength checks and strength throws, as well as I get resistances to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. And then I get a bonus roll
I guess
for rage
you're not in
damage.
combat. You're not in combat, so you can rage without taking this so-called bonus action, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So I mean, if you want to do that, you totally can.
So
I'm just
sorry for hypotheticaling this, but if I do that and I get a bonus to my strength check, I can try and smash this wall again, right?
But even though you roll high, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make it.
Right.
Right. Okay.
It was a hypothetical.
Yeah.
hypothetically, yes.
Okay.
I mean, you could keep smashing your face in it all you want to. Like, you don't
So-
even need to go over it.
What did you fill your pockets with, Odin?
So I was gonna ask that question. So I filled the water skins with the concoction. Do I have to like get an item or take an item for that?
So
Or
in terms of keeping track of that, it's you. So let me just open your character sheet and just like help you out here. So you can add an item directly, but it's kind of clunky to work with. I would suggest if you have unique items, add them to your bio tab because you can manually type things there. So you can just like type Waterskin filled with special sauce or something in, I don't know, one of these boxes.
Okay.
So Eternal, the guards are outside the kitchen door. What are you doing?
Going in the hole with Odin.
Okay. I think, why don't you both make a stealth check with advantage? So this is where this advantage thing comes in handy. So back to your core tab. At the top, you have 3 things that say advantage or disadvantage. Advantage basically means when you roll a check or whatever, or like an attack roll, you roll the die twice and you take the higher result. So why don't you click on advantage and then make a stealth check? Right, so you can see Ganondorf, you rolled an 11. And Odin rolled an 18. Okay, great. So you are both in this hole, and I'll just move you here. Okay, so let's have the guards search for you. So the guards enter, and let me make these rolls. You won't be seeing these rolls. Okay, so one guard is sort of looking around and he's just like checking under the barrel. The other guard makes a beeline straight for the hole. And are you guys like peeking over a little bit? Or are you just like full on in the hole?
I went straight
Full on in the hole.
Yep,
All right.
I'm down.
All right. Okay, so forewarning, I don't have an actual map for the hole, so we'll have to play this by ear because obviously I did not consider this scenario. One guard, you hear footsteps descending a ladder. What do you do?
I'm gonna look around and see if there's somewhere to run.
You can't see much. It's pretty much pitch dark except for the light from the hole. I guess if you want to look for a place to... Yeah, why don't you make another I guess this would just be a straight up perception check. So just roll, I think, wisdom. Yeah, roll wisdom.
Normal, right? Not advantage.
Oh, no, wait, no, that's right. There's a perception check. Sorry, roll perception. I'm wrong. Perception check. I forgot that was a thing. Man, Odin's rolling high tonight. So I think with that, you quickly feel around, and you don't feel like an exit to the outer, just outside, but you find a what seems to be like a table, and you hide underneath it. And I guess if you're gonna hide, I guess I'll have you make another stealth check with advantage. Eternal, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow him and try and hide underneath the table.
Okay. Maybe Odin, like, he just like grabs at you and he drags you underneath. Why don't you also make a stealth check, but without advantage because you did not know it was there and he sort of like forced you there.
Yep.
Okay. And I am going to okay, I know what I'm going to do now. Okay, great. You hear this guard sort of get to the bottom of the ladders, and you can see his silhouette against the lights coming from the upper floor, and he spends some time looking around, and like you at one point, like he was literally right in front of the table that you guys were in. But he just sort of he spends way longer than you'd be comfortable for him to be down there. But after some time of searching, he just you hear him sigh. He goes back up the ladder, and that's all you see. All right, upstairs. What's going on upstairs?
I'm taking a break.
You take a bow. You get a roaring applause from everybody in the bar.
Is Guard like taking me somewhere, or am I just like standing still?
He's just holding you there.
Can I just circle around the guard?
If you want to try and circle around the guard, you're gonna have to make a strength check because he is restraining you.
Saving throws?
No, it's just a straight up strength check. Okay. You try and do a little dance around the guard, but he puts his hand on your shoulder and holds you firmly. Does anybody else want to say what they're doing? If not, I can just...
I'm getting a little irritated because I want my drink refilled, and the bar lady is way across the bar.
Well, yeah, because, like, somebody just broke into her kitchen.
I'm just saying.
We don't
So
know that yet.
ungrateful. All right, the guard. You see the guards walk out, and the lady looks at them, and they shake their head, and you hear them apologize as they leave. And the woman sort of skeptically glances back at her kitchen, and she walks back towards the bar. Outside, the guard unhandcuffs you, Wheelie, and they just gives you like he sort of like pats you on the back, and he's just like just word of warning, because you seem new here. Don't do whatever you were trying to do.
Odin and I are still in the hole, right?
You are still in the hole.
Can I light a torch down here?
Okay, yeah, you can do that. You light a torch, and the room illuminates, and you look around, and it's pretty dusty. But there's nothing. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Looking for information on the missing people.
Make an investigations check.
Damn!
You look around, and with regards to that, there's nothing here that can help you.
Alright, cool.
Talk to the guard who's like next to me.
Yeah, you can talk to the guard.
Let me think. So, guard, mister, what's your name?
I'm Kent.
I'm Will Steely.
Pleasure to meet you, Sir Steely.
Okay, Kent, mister. Do you know anyone here who seems kind of worried or apprehensive as of lately? Someone who's been around here for a while.
He sort of looks at you and shrugs, and he's like, I don't know if you've heard, but we've been having a missing people's problem. I guess you can talk to the mayor if you want to know about that, but me personally, I mean, I'm doing fine. I haven't noticed anybody particularly strange.
Neat. You want to go to Costco with me?
I do not know of this Costco you speak of. Are you?
It's literally right next to you.
Yes. So that a weird, like, fat looking cat thing wearing a robe like came by a couple days ago, and he just guess he had a chat with the mayor and he installed this weird contraption, but I don't really know what's going on over there.
I think we should leave the tavern and go find the mayor.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you got
Good
your drink or
plan.
not.
Better look at it.
So, Isarya, Galadriel, and Flinty, you three are free to leave the cavern, or tavern, sorry. Ganondorf and Odin, if you're gonna have to make another strength check, or sorry, not strength, stealth check if you want to try and sneak back out.
Stealth check, normal, right?
Stealth check, normal stealth check. Yep.
Fuck.
Just waiting on Odin. Okay.
Wow.
Odin, you dash out through the kitchen door, in and out, and as the barkeep turns around to see what made that noise, she sees Ganondorf a little bit behind. And you see her reach underneath her bar, and she takes up what looks to be like a makeshift club, and she says, "I thought I told you to get out of my kitchen."
Run for it.
I'm going, and I'm running out the door.
Okay, you guys start running, and she chases you, but as she is old and a little on the heavier side, you make quite a good distance. I'm just gonna drag you guys. You make quite a good distance away from the tavern, and you sort of see her just as she exits the door, panting. And she stares in your direction, but she just kind of like gives up pretty much, and she just kind of haggardly enters back into her tavern.
Success.
Amazing.
Alright, let's go see the mayor.
I want to buy stuff.
Okay, well let's resolve this first. Who wants to go see the mayor?
Me.
I'll go see the mayor.
Kids.
I'll go to Costco.
Party.
Okay, so if you're going to go see the mayor, let me see if this works. All right, excellent. Shift ping. Yeah, just drag your characters over here. I will quickly deal with what Jarius and Eternal are doing. So you walk up to this tent, and you see a sort of circular fixture inside, but you don't see like any real entrance or any wares, like just this strange stone fixture. You do, however, see a lot of stalls around the market, and to your right you hear a smith's hammering down on their anvil. Left you see some people looking through some fruits and vegetables, just through some groceries. Just above, you can see a table with bottles and potions, and a little bit over to the left, you see what looks to be a woodcutter's store pop up.
Can we go over to the smith and see if they have any steel?
Yeah, sure. What you both approach the smith, and what do you say?
Wheelie?
Smith, mister. Do you have the best wheels and steels?
Aye, that's me. Don't deal with wheels over here, but if steel's what you need, it's what I've got. Finest weapons and armor on this side of the river.
I have no money.
Sorry, sir. You can't be giving out free handouts now. This is my livelihood, but you're welcome to look around. Don't touch anything, though.
But how would I know if they're strong? If, like, everything it touches, it might break. I require to know if it's the best steels.
That's a little bit insulting that you'll be doubting the quality of my handicraft, sir.
saying. Have you ever tested them out?
He picks up a nearby dagger, and your hand's on the table, and he jams it right between where your fingers are, and he looks up to you and is like, "Does that answer your question?"
Yeah, that's pretty. I actually like it. Wow, that's some quality stuff. Do that again.
He rips the dagger out from the table and he puts it back and turns around, goes back to hammering. Unless Eternal, if you want to do anything specific, I'm gonna go transition over to the mayor's building.
So, can I investigate to see if he has higher damage weapons than what I have?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you have to roll. You can just straight up ask him to see his wares, and I can pull up a shop list real quick.
Yeah, I'd like to see what he has. Can I see
All
your
right.
wares, good Smithy?
He nods his head, and let me just pull this up. It's gonna be in the Discord because it's kind of annoying to look at PDFs in the game. All right, here we go. Whoops. All right, just the first page.
Under weapons there? Or is this
Yeah,
everything
under
he has?
weapons. Yeah, let's just stick with the blacksmith armory section. It's all just pretty standard stuff.
Okay, so what are those X's on the right side of the columns?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be for specific, depending on the type of town, if they would have this or not, but let's just make it simple. Just assume that everything he has is normal cost, and he has everything under the blacksmith armory section. And I guess if you want to take time to look through it, so the damage statistics aren't on the sheet, obviously, but you can find all of that really easily through the resources. You can actually check, in the top right, you should have a thing called the Compendium, and I think you can check out weapons there to look at their stats and stuff, I believe. If not, then you can just go around and peruse, but I'll let you take a look at that stuff while I manage what's going on in the mayor's house. All right.
Real quick, just a question. So with this, are there different qualities of items? Do you need to upgrade your items type of thing? Or is it just a dagger is a dagger is a dagger and a bow is a bow is a bow?
Go watch.
Right, so there are stronger versions. There's +1, +2, +3 daggers, and etc. For the most part, a lot of your strength is going to come from your character level, less so on gear. I believe that's how 5th edition D&D is structured. Of course, there will be opportunities for you to buy better gear. I will definitely make sure of that. I guess just to be completely transparent, I don't have any of that set up right now because you're just starting this campaign.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
sort of lore-wise, I think, you've entered a small town. He's not a bad smith, but he's not going to be making weapon or armor that's necessarily straight up just obviously better, right? He's not going to necessarily have +1 stuff, and so on. So
okay. I was just curious because I've never
got out for an hour.
I don't know how gear and stuff works in this game. So
of course, in general, a lot of power scaling just comes from what you have. There will, of course, be opportunities to get unique items, which will come further down, of course. What's an RPG without some, magical items and all that? But for now, it's just what you have in your inventory is what you're working with, and frankly speaking, it can definitely just take you through the entire game. Okay, so we are at the mayor's house. Are you all entered?
yes, I have.
Okay. All right, so you enter the mayor's house, and there's nothing immediately of extraordinary note. I mean, it's just it's not a house, excuse me, it's a town hall. And as you enter, you sort of appreciate the flowing fountains by the entrance and the floor. It's clear that whoever was the groundskeeper here took a lot of care in managing the plants and the scenery. Yeah, do you just want to go straight to up ahead? You see a couple of rooms. You see sort of like a dining area on the left, and on the right there's a closed door and a bathroom. On the closed door you can see labeled, accounting, and up ahead, I guess none of you are quite close enough to see what it is, but since you can move freely, up ahead, straight up, you see the words mayor's office on the door.
I'd like to go and talk to the guard here.
Okay. And he turns over and nods at you. What do you say?
Hey, how are you? What is your name?
Mine? How? Fine day to you, sir. My name needs to be given to me by the DM. My name is Jeff.
Okay. Out of character, is it normal to ask for NPC names, or does it not matter?
It's not abnormal.
It feels natural.
Yeah, sure. It is. I just didn't assign every single guard a name. I didn't really assign Kent a name because I guess maybe in the future I should plan for these things. I'm learning that I should give every single NPC a name.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I'm gonna change this guy's name to Jeff.
Hey Jeff, have you seen any abnormal activity? Do you guys usually see a lot of traffic through the town hall?
And he so Jeff says, other than the sort of normal stuff, I mean, every day you have some people coming in and out, speaking of complaints and all that, but nothing too suspicious on our end. Obviously, recently you might have heard we've had the missing people's issues, but at least us at the guards, we're pretty spread thin as it is. And I know the mayor put out a little help notice, and he takes a look at you at sort of your whole getup, and he says, "Hey, you look like an adventurer. Are you here for that?"
Yeah, we're looking to find out who actually went missing.
And he says, "Why don't you walk right on in? The mayor's been expecting you."
Okay, thank you.
I should have asked for tips when I was playing.
Oh, that would have been good. You would have been the first person to have some money in this group.
I know. Oh man, I should go panhandle, but busk out of the street later. Okay.
All right. Are you all in the? So are you opening the mayor's door?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Do we have to knock first? Oh, you guys didn't knock.
No, it's okay. Let's just say, I guess Galadriel's first. Galadriel, you open the door and you see the mayor and two guards over the desk, and they're poring over some kind of map. And he's sort of pointing out he's pointing stuff out on the map. And he looks up at the sound of the door and he's just like, "Do I have an appointment with you, or?"
The mayor says that to me?
The mayor, yes, he sees you, and then I guess he sees more people pouring behind, and he says, "Oh, you must be here about the missing persons notice." And he dismisses the guards, and they return to sort of their posts. And I'll just move you in here, Koi.
Thank you.
Okay. So he gestures to the two chairs. He says, "Sorry, I wasn't expecting a crew this big, but I'll be straightforward with you. Couple of nights ago, we had about 20 people just vanish, and frankly speaking, we don't really know what happened. I've doubled security on patrols, especially around the areas where people are living and just all the high traffic areas, but it really just seems like they just up and vanished one day. And, you know, I mean, parents separated from their kids and families split up. It's just, we'd really like someone to get to the bottom of this, and I had to reach out. It's just we don't have enough manpower here to really conduct an investigation without jeopardizing the safety of our own citizens. And given the constant state of weariness that everyone's in, didn't think it'd be a good idea to spread our forces thinner even more. Now, of course, I don't expect to do this for free. And he sort of he underneath his desk, he pulls out a drawer and he pulls out a sort of a little lockbox, and he opens it, and you can see in there, a quite healthy stack of gold, and also some assorted gems, and just nice valuable things. And he says, it's business as usual, I'm sure, as it is for you, but I promise you will be well compensated if you can help us get to the bottom of this.
Can you tell us more about these missing people?
So he puts the lockbox back into the drawer, and he locks it with his key, and under another drawer he sort of pulls out a list, and he starts reading off names, and he's sort of just like, this is the complete list of people that have gone missing. And I mean, as far as I can tell, I don't really see a real correlation between who goes missing when. I mean, obviously, and he turns the list around, and he shows you a block of around 20 names, and he says, this is the list of, this is sort of all the people that have gone missing. I guess the weird thing is that they just disappeared all at once. I mean, if you're asking me, honestly, it sounds like there's some sort of nefarious force that's, I don't know, teleporting or somehow sneaking them out under our noses, but this is whatever's happening is definitely not natural.
Are there any witnesses?
And he says that's the strangest thing. And he pulls out another sheet, and it's I'm choosing to trust you guys with this knowledge, but here's sort of the patrol routes for the guards. And let's see, why don't we have everybody in the mayor's office, why don't we have you make I think this would just be a perception check. Yeah.
Wow.
I think we're just waiting on, oh, there we go. Wow, okay. Okay. So Odin guided Dynasty. Now, I mean, none of you necessarily have like a custodial background or anything, but I guess Dynasty, you take a look at that map and you are as confused as the mayor. Like, this seems like a pretty solid route and times that were planned out. And Odin and guided, you have like a general understanding, like, okay, yeah, like, so it seems like the streets are somewhat well guarded. Koi, you look at it and you're like, that is a map.
What was her name we ran into at the bar?
Immy.
Yeah. Let's ask about. Do you know who Immy is, Mr. Meyer?
Okay. Yeah. So he says Immy, and he sort of sits back in his chair and he sighs and he's like, Immy has, I think, really been hit the hardest. You know, she doesn't have any family nearby. I don't really personally know sort of her background about this, but she was a lively part of her community, and I mean, I can tell you that her neighbors loved her. Like, she was always holding these like cute potlucks and inviting people over. I don't know if you noticed, but she's she's got some pretty intense training, and sometimes she puts on these like acrobatic shows, and they're always amazing. And yeah, I mean, I feel really bad for her, and I know that this is something that she really cares about. And I mean, we have our differences, and he sort of just he pinches the brow, he pinches the bridge of his nose, and sort of is just like shaking his head. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm glad you got to know her, but obviously there's a lot of people like her who'd really like to see this issue resolved. Real quick, back to Wheelie and Ganondorf. What are you guys doing?
With the best weapons I've seen in a while. Now in my town, they're pretty heckin' cool. Like, it's got like 3 swords and 1 sword. It's like an ultra sword.
The dwarf glances up and is like, we don't get too many orcs around here. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your hometown? And you guys engage in a nice conversation about smithing and weaponry and stuff. Ganondorf, have you perused the catalog and found something to your liking? Although I guess you don't have any gold, but...
Yes, I did. Pull it back up again, sorry. There was a... what is it called? A scimitar.
Okay.
I wanted to know if the Smithy would want to trade a 2-handed battle axe for his scimitar.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so you... yeah, why don't you... give me some flavor here. Give me some dialogue.
Mr. Smith, I have a 2-handed battle axe. I would like to know if you want to trade it for one of your scimitars. I'm not too fluent with 2-handed weapons. I would be better off with another 1-handed weapon. Would you be interested in something like that?
Okay. So, what's the condition of your... you said it was a battle axe?
Yeah.
What's the condition of your battle axe?
Brand new and never been used.
Okay, I'll take that.
Brand new and
roll
box.
Charisma. Just straight charisma.
Oh no.
Hey, Josie.
Hey, what's up?
Real quick, is this a viable time to urinate?
Yeah, totally.
Alright, cool.
I'll probably need to do that soon anyways. Did you roll? Oh, I missed it. I didn't see it. You did roll. Okay. So you hand him the battle axe, and he brings his eye really close to it. You see him sort of graze over it. And he hands it back to you and says, "That's a mighty kind offer, kind sir, but I'm quite proud of my weapons, you know, and not currently looking for exchanging any particular thing, especially for a war axe." And he sort of picks up his scimitar and he waves it around, I guess sort of demonstrating like how well balanced it is and all that stuff.
Could I ask you something? Smithy, mister.
What's your question?
We were to trade the battle axe, but also I give you a rapier for that smiter. Would that also work? A 2-1 trade.
Oh, so you're offering your rapier and the battle axe for the scimitar?
It's a pretty good deal. This rapier is pretty new. I kind of
Okay.
Weapons.
Roll charisma with advantage.
Just to be clear, this is a steel scimitar, correct, Mr. Smithy?
Finest steel you'll ever find. Alright, okay, so he takes your rapier and gives it a few pokes in the air, and he says, you know, for that, I think I'll take it. So do you guys want to exchange your rapier and battle axe for the scimitar?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. How do you delete a rapier?
Okay, so yeah, I got you.
How do you also delete a battle axe?
Yeah. It should be the same thing. So, in each box, there's like a little lock symbol. If you press the lock symbol, trash cans should show up. That's how you delete things.
Okay. Battle axe.
So don't forget to delete. Oh, I guess Jarius, you have 2 rapiers. Huh.
Can I just give one of them?
Yeah. So just change the counter on the right from 2 to 1.
How do I do that?
I think you just double click on it.
Oh, shit, whoops. Sorry. I was not slashing at the smithy.
Jesus.
It was an accidental click.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that sounds... Okay. Okie dokes. Oh, wait. No, that's not your inventory. That's the weight. Sorry. So you do give away your only rapier. Never mind.
All my rapier?
You only had 1. I misread. That's the weight. That's the weight category on the right. Yeah, that's not the amount. So in the very bottom right, there should be a lock. Click the lock. You can click the delete bar that shows up. There you go. Okay. You might want to delete the attack as well. Okay, you got it deleted. And on Ganondorf, just checking to make sure. It looks like you still have the battle axe.
I have a one-handed one. Right?
In your inventory. Did you delete the battle axe in your inventory?
Ooh, no.
Yeah. So the one-handed, by the way. So the battle axe is the weapon. The one hand is the grip. Because you can hold it in one hand or 2 hands. So you still lose that attack.
Gotcha.
Okay, so who's getting the scimitar? I have to look up the stats of the scimitar real quick. Who's getting the scimitar? He hands it to I guess Wheelie, because you're the one who offered the rapier.
Hey, Ganondorf. This Scimitar, it would look pretty heckin' cool if you use it in battle.
I'll take the scimitar. Appreciate
Okay, great.
it, Wheelie.
Let me see. I think I can just drag and drop. Let me check real quick.
Dang.
Yep, there we go. I think all the appropriate... Yep, +5. Yep, okay. Yep, looks like all the modifiers are there. Okay, excellent.
Sweet.
Good
Take
job.
care of
Good trade.
with all your love and care.
The smithy takes the weapons and sort of sets them down in their respective locations and says, gonna be pretty honest, think this trade was definitely in my favor, but appreciate it nonetheless.
Thank you, Mr. Smithy.
I don't like that. I didn't like that weapon anyways.
Alright, so are you guys gonna hang around in the market more?
I think we're gonna go meet up at the mayor's office.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I think just to speed things up, I'll just drag, you can just go ahead and drag yourself over there. And the mayor sees 2 more figures approach behind and says, "Oh, didn't know you had more people here." Yeah. I think when we left off, he just sort of answered your question about Immy. So, you guys have any questions for him?
Did the missing people all were they all congregated in one place, or did they all disappear from different places?
That's the thing. So it was during the middle of the night, and I mean that's just the strangest thing because they didn't all live next to each other or anything. And he sort of points out to like the marks on his map, and you deduce that these marks are where people have gone missing from, and they're pretty spread out. You don't see any noticeable pattern from the get-go.
Okay. Were the guards around the area when they disappeared? Like, did their routes
Right.
coincide with the disappearance?
That's yes. As in they. It seems like they should have been patrolling that area based on the routes.
What time is it currently in game? Is it daytime or is it nighttime or is it?
It's daytime right now. Let's say it's daytime. Yeah.
I'd like to ask the mayor if there's a room we can stay in till the night and investigate at nighttime. Since the disappearances are happening at night.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. I think you'll have to roll for persuasion. Or do you want to like stay in like a civilian's house maybe? Like maybe in like one of the houses where somebody used to live in before they disappeared?
Yeah, we can do that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it an
I
Airbnb?
think you're gonna have to roll persuasion to convince him to give you access to that house. Yeah, roll persuasion. Okay. I think with that check. Sorry, just checking my notes right now. I think with that check, yeah, okay. I don't think he has enough confidence in you guys. He's like, we just met, and no offense to you guys, but I wouldn't want any of their stuff to go missing while they're missing. Hopefully we can find them alive and get them back here.
Can I try to convince him to? Just be like, hey, Mr. Mayor, in order for us to do our jobs, we'd have to have a place to stay. And what better place to stay than somebody who went missing? That way we can kind of figure out what their last moments were before they left.
Okay, so I think, and I could be wrong on this, but so does everybody want to try to convince the mayor?
My character's impartial.
Yeah.
At least want to see the house where people disappeared. See if there's any.
My character's just going along with the flow.
Okay, so we're not going to do a group check. If you're intentionally trying to convince him, roll persuasion. So Odin and Wheelie, you wouldn't because your character is kind of indifferent. Okay. I think okay. So he has like a ring of keys on his hand, and he looks down at them and back to you, and he lets out a little sigh, and he says, really trusting you on this one, but please don't take anything that doesn't belong to you. And he hands it to Koi.
Maybe we should make Wheelie sleep outside.
Classist.
I think Wheelie. Oh wait, actually, no wait. Who tried to steal? Odin and Ganondorf.
I didn't even steal anything. What?
You got in trouble with the guards already.
You were imposing on my rights.
Say, do you think you could have one of your guards show us to the house we're going to be staying at?
Yeah, and so he says, yeah, sounds good. And he calls to the guard on the right, whose name is Jericho. That's a cool name. And all right, so Jericho leads you, and I will shift ping. I will shift ping something real quick. There we go. You all see this?
Yeah.
All right. So let's just assume that Jericho takes you there. So I guess at the moment, is there anything else you want to say before going? By the way, otherwise I'm just gonna drag you all to that location. Oh, Ganondorf's already gone. He's out of there.
I'd like to ask Jericho if he was on one of those routes of disappearing people.
He says, let's see. He responds in a very normal voice that I've certainly been on patrol routes for houses where people have gone missing, but for this particular one, I have not.
Have you noticed anything strange during the time period that people have gone missing?
And he says, honestly, the strangest thing is that, you know, when this thing happened, we hired a sort of investigator to take a look at things, and he didn't even find any like weird tracks or traces. It's kind of just like they vanished. I'm going to slowly drag you all to that building.
We should look out around the outside of the building to check for any thing that might look misplaced or any footprints, any broken glass.
Okay, I'm also going to use the
Anything out of
restroom real
ordinary?
quick. So I'll be back.
I think, yeah, probably. If anybody else needs to do it, that would be a good time.
This is fun so far.
Yeah, yes, it is actually. We play this board game called House on Haunted Hill, and it's like super fun. And this is like less structured, more storytelling version of that. It's pretty good.
Might have to check that out.
Dude, fucking Josie coming in with all the work. Jesus.
I know, he's really good at this.
Yeah, he is.
I can't even think of like
You got
one-liners
some
to come up with.
Assholes going off script.
Fucking up his story. Trying to steal some kegs. Asking all the guards their name.
Yeah, right. Who here's like played this before?
Jarius has,
Like
and that's it.
D&D. Jarius.
Jarius and
I
Josie have
have
D&D
not.
experience.
Have you done any Koi?
I thought Koi has before. I think she would.
No, ever.
Okay. Alright, Jarius. How badly are we fucking this up?
I think you went AFK.
AFK, yeah.
Yeah, I knew Dungeons and Dragons was for D&D, but other than that, I had no idea what was behind the game or what it was even about. So this is all new to me. I hear everybody talk about it, but I've never engaged to even looking to see what it was.
I've watched them play D&D on Stranger Things once.
I have returned.
Hi, Josie. We were just all praising you.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Actually,
you're doing really good.
Jeez.
Thank you. That's really encouraging to hear. Wait, that's awesome.
I'm just like, we're like a bunch of asshole new people doing like stupid, obnoxious shit. You're like, yeah.
I obviously out of
All right.
character. I did not expect you guys to cause such like literally committing crimes day one. It's great.
Oh, hey, you don't know Eternal, right?
That's double trouble right there.
It's great. It's so good.
The way we play games, let's see. I'm pretty sure the first time we played tabletop sim, I purposely drank myself to death to make Eternal drink himself to death. we're kind of not great at this.
Oh my gosh.
No,
but I mean, like, literally, I mean, it's as fun as, you know, I mean, unless the story is, like, really boring, but, like, the whole thing is just, like, you know, it's improv, right? And however much effort you put into it is what you're going to get out.
Right.
For sure, for sure.
Is everyone back?
Is everyone back?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have Clay?
Out of character.
Yep.
Okay.
For those of you guys that have played this before, how badly are us noobs making this? Like, is it really shitty?
Frankly speaking, it's going. I haven't really played D&D that much, but honestly, it's not as bad. We're moving at a pretty relatively faster pace.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say I can like definitely like I don't want to ruin everybody else's time because I'm doing stupid shit or something. Like I don't know what the typical like cadence is for like following along with like the obvious like progression, I guess.
I mean, that's the thing though, is that like I'm just providing a backdrop. I don't have like this is the way you're going to progress. I just have this is what's going on around the world and you guys are part of this world. And like straight up, I mean, it would make me sad, but like straight up, you could also just choose not to get involved in like this obvious quest line of like find the missing people, and like that would be fine. But like that is something you could do. I'm just providing a setting and like because there's like a plausible reason like why you're all adventuring together, and also just something to get us going at the start. But that's like why it's so important to have these personal stories, which if you can at some point later, just like maybe type that in your character or something, because I really want to remember those, because that's where a lot of the meat of D&D comes from, is that like every person goes on this personal journey and you grow your character and you like you get, you know, connected with it, and you just like it's just, you know, it's fun that way. Does anybody have any more questions for Jericho?
Nope.
Did guards go missing?
Okay. Hearing one, he says good luck to y'all, and he returns. He starts
I
walking.
think Guided had something.
Come back, Jericho.
Okay, no, he's back.
How dare you?
Sorry, who had a question?
I was asking Jericho if any of the guards went missing as well, or just townspeople.
And he looks and uses he says there have definitely been guards that have gone missing. Not on their patrol routes, but it seems to be when they're off duty. I mean, that just seems to be what's happening with everybody, is that like, you know, someone's sneaking them away during the night while they're sleeping.
Interesting.
Well, you know, I was a mercenary in my past life, and if I were to abduct someone, it would be during their sleep. It's the cleanest way to get the job done.
I'd like to investigate around outside.
Okay, just real quick, does anybody have any more questions for Jericho? Okay, I'm gonna move him back. He bids you farewell and zooms across the map.
Bye, Jericho.
Yes,
Bye, Jericho. It was fun.
like a comet.
Alright, so if you are investigating around the house,
Doing a group
let's go
investigation?
ahead. Well, this would be a little different, I think. Because I think everybody would be... so group checks would be like, for example, if you were all trying to convince somebody, it's kind of one-sided if there's like 6 individual dice roll, and so group checks would be like more than half of the group would have to succeed. But for this, it's just like you're all independently investigating, so it doesn't make sense to do a group check where like, oh, if less than half of you succeed, you don't learn anything, right? Because like the ones who do succeed will learn something.
Right.
So I think I should decide between perception and investigation. Okay. I think at the start, everybody roll for perception. Oh, this is where all that luck goes to die, huh?
Pretty much.
That looks like yeah, that is everybody. Oh, okay. Everybody is just like sort of looking around this house, looking for things, and don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Dynasty, you do notice something strange, and it's the fact that there's literally no signs of breaking and entering at all.
Can we investigate the inside?
Yeah, you have the key.
Well, guys, I don't see any signs of breaking and entering. There's no broken glass, no footsteps, no fingerprints on like edges of dust and windows. So let's go inside and check it out.
All right. So, Flinty, you struggle to find the right key. I mean, the mayor kind of gave you like a bunch of different keys, but he just trusts that you're going to this one. And after a couple tries, you hear a satisfying sort of like kerchunk as you turn the key, and the lock gives way, and you open the door. Inside, other than the natural light coming from the windows, it's pretty much pitch. I guess not pitch black. There's no artificial lighting. You know, all the torches are snuffed out, and you're all sort of looking around. You walk into the foyer, and let's make another perception check, everybody. Yeah.
So Flinty has a janitor's key ring for the keys to the city, correct?
Not the keys to the city, just like for the houses, I guess.
Oh, really?
Weird.
I think we need Dynasty to roll?
You said precision? Or
Perception, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I also have dark vision.
So, yes, you have dark vision. So I think a lot of players here have dark vision, which basically means you can see in the dark.
Okay.
I have dark.
So, I mean, none of you at the moment are like really struggling to find your way around because there is the natural lighting coming in from the windows and the open doorway. So I think Koi and Dynasty, you notice that it's not very dusty, which suggests that this particular kidnapping happened recently. You also notice the lack of signs of struggle.
I'd like to take... Go ahead.
Maybe they all were hypnotized and left themselves.
Okay, let's see. I want to have you roll for something, I think, for thinking of that. Also, is your character... I just need to check real quick. I just want to make sure your character is... Oh, I guess you'd roll for that first. Make an intelligence roll, Koi. Just straight up intelligence, yeah. Or I guess investigation. Yeah, investigation, sorry, yeah. Do investigation. Okay. So you deduce, obviously, that some sort of magical force is at work here. You're not quite sure what it is, but you have reason to believe that even if they were asleep, there would be some signs of a struggle, or at least, again, there was lack of, there wasn't any weird marks on the lock of the door to suggest that somebody picked their way in. You don't see any obvious, tracks in the house. You do notice, and sort of since the house was left undisturbed since the kidnapping, and you enter the bedroom, and in the bedroom you notice a couple of things. You notice sheets that look like they've been recently used, suggesting that the person was sleeping, and you notice multiple sets of footprints just in the bedroom.
Can I roll a history check to see if there is a dispute in the house?
I don't think that would be history. That would probably be investigation as well.
You said there was multiple sets of footprints in the bedroom.
There are multiple sets of footprints in the bedroom, at least 3.
How many people live in the house?
Definitely not that many people. You do not suspect a dispute happened in this house.
Can I borrow the keys from Flinty and go to the house next door to the left of us and investigate that house?
That'll be up to Flinty.
I don't know. The mayor told us to not mess with anything.
Does the owner have any animals?
None that you can see. No evidence of pets or anything like that.
Maybe
So-
we could. Sorry.
Go ahead, Koi.
Wait until nighttime and see if one of us disappears.
One of us disappears.
As you guys are discussing, oops. You hear a knock at the front door, and you see Immy peek her head in, and she's figured I'd find you guys here. And she sort of walks in and is and she takes a deep breath and she says, all right, I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna try and break into the mayor's house. There's something he's hiding, and I'm gonna find out what it is. And she she pulls out a little leaflet of paper, and she's like, I figured out a schedule for the entire day tomorrow, made a copy myself. I just figured I'd let you guys know since you're here. You know, this is what I'm doing. I'd love for some help, obviously, but I can't force any of you to break the law. But just figured I'd let you know since you all seem to be pretty into this finding missing people thing, and I'd really love to figure out what happened too. Lost a lot of loved people. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm down.
Well, my rights were pretty much revoked for no good reason, so I'm down as well.
Anyway, why would somebody who's kidnapping people pay people to find out that he's kidnapping people?
And that's when, so she turns to you and she kind of, you see her roll her eyes at you, and she's like, I mean, if you were the one behind this, wouldn't you want to cover it up too? I would hire adventurers, just, you know, they come in, are unsuccessful, call it a day. At least then you could say you tried.
Can I roll a deception check? See if she's telling the truth?
Okay, I think to see if she's telling the truth, you roll. I don't think it's deception, because deception is if you are lying. I think
Is it insight?
Yes, it's insight. Roll insight, and I will. Yeah, roll insight.
Terrible. Ooh, not terrible.
Okay. You take a look at her and look for any obvious tells or anything. She does not look like she's lying, and she seems very determined to do this.
Alright, so are we all on board to help her with this? Or is there anyone objecting to
If we're going to
Did
do
hire
it,
us.
I would like to
disguise
stay
it.
behind.
Disguises,
Sorry.
that's what I was thinking.
this guy's... Jarius, is that what you were saying?
Disguises.
Yeah, disguises.
I have to turn him up. I can't hear him.
Let me just get a quick head count. Who wants to break into the mayor's house?
Me.
Me?
I'm down.
Yeah, I think all of us.
I would like to stay behind and maybe take a look at the footprints and see if we can distinguish whether they are like boots or what kind of shoes they are.
Okay. All right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. So I think if you wanna investigate the footprints, basically, just I think roll investigation for me, please.
Okay.
Is it all of us?
No, just yeah.
Investigate.
So the rest of us are leaving to follow in, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. So you can see that it's like a different set. Like it's shoes that are different sizes. They belong to different size people.
Okay.
Okay. So I think while you're investigating, let me just draw your attention. So Immy leads you. Here we go. She leads you over here, and she sort of points out how, like, something's up when he's living in the only gated place in the entire neighborhood. And so she sort of, and she's just like, she's kind of playing it off. Like, there are some bystanders, and they're just like, oh, what's going on here? And so she says, I guess I should move you all over there. So let me just do that real quick, except for, who stayed behind again? Who was the person?
Galadriel, Dynasty.
Okay. Let me just carefully copy and paste you guys. And so she sort of starts, sort of hushed breath, starts explaining to you guys that, obviously we can't be doing this in broad daylight. At least tonight, the mayor is going to be, handling a court case. So he'll definitely be gone for quite a bit. And, I've got a good scout of the patrol routes, and, during this time, and she points to the number on her sheet. We should have probably we should have a good amount of time to at least get into the fence, and once we're in there, I think we should be good to go.
Sounds good.
I'd like to ask this guard his name.
Why do you do this to me? His name is Guy.
Hi, Guy.
Where's a real name? Don't you're making fun of all the guys out there. Hey, is Eternal streaming this?
Yeah.
All right. All you guys out there, send mean. I don't know.
Great. All right. So
His name is Guy. Hi, my name's Guy.
Here. Hi, Guy. Have you seen anyone suspicious around lately?
Guy says, I heard from some of my guard buddies that some weirdos tried to rob the barkeep. But other than that, nope, nothing on my end.
Guy, what was that guard's name?
Pretty sure that was Ken.
All right. Kent's a good guy. All right, carry on, Guy.
I agree. Have a good day, citizen. Dynasty, are you still staying behind?
I'm slowly getting to you guys.
I can drag you over there.
Okay.
Okay. So I think Immy spends this time to maybe discuss what each of you guys will be doing, and so she says that she'll be one of the people trying to get in, and she's like, just in case, we should probably have a couple lookouts. Maybe come up with some sort of signal, just to let us know that, like, hey, maybe we should get out of there, stuff like that.
Dibs. I'll be a lookout. If I see anybody coming, I'll bark.
Bark.
The guard dog.
I can also check. But I have moral standards when going inside the mayor's house, so...
Okay, so basically...
If I see anything suspicious, I'll take it with me.
Emmy's just like, I know we're, like, kind of breaking the law here, but we really shouldn't be stealing. Like, I mean, I know we're breaking into someone's house, but, like, we really shouldn't be stealing.
What if something they possess could cause, like, a political war, or worse, a nuclear explosion?
And she just rolls her eyes. She's like, look, I don't know. If you're really worried about stuff like that, fine. I'm not gonna tell the cops that you took something. But, like, you really shouldn't be doing that, man.
Can Odin roll to see if he barks like a Chihuahua or like a Rottweiler?
Yeah, roll Constitution.
Fucking nailed it.
Chihuahua.
All right, Odin takes a deep breath and prepares to let out, like, the mightiest bark, and out comes, like, a little squeak.
This is what I expected. All right, we'll listen for the squeak.
I definitely want to break and enter. It's my jam.
Okay, sounds good. So, out of character. So Odin's keeping watch. Flinty and Wheelie are going to try and break and enter. I guess I need to figure out Ganondorf, Galadriel, and Isarya. What are you guys doing?
I'll go with Flinty and Wheelie.
Okay.
I kind of want to put my stealthiness to the test, so I want to break in too.
Okay. Wow, this is gonna be a stacked roster. And then finally, Galadriel.
I think I am going to stay with Odin, and they can take the front or the side, and I'll go to the back and be
Okay.
a lookout.
Okay, excellent. Sounds good. So, are you all just gonna, like, basically do whatever and wait till nightfall? Or is there anything you want to do before waiting for nightfall?
Yeah, I want to walk north along this path. There's a guard at the end of here, I see. I'd like to ask him his name.
I'm sorry, he's a pain in the ass.
No. This is my punishment. I need to give everybody names before the next session.
I'm gonna enter this church thing.
Okay, this guy's name.
What's his name?
His name is Vivian.
Oh, okay.
How do you do, citizen?
Hi, Vivian. Have you noticed anyone suspicious in town recently?
He gives you the same response that every guard gives you. He also says, I heard from a couple of guys that some people tried to steal from the barkeep. That's just really weird. You don't know anything about that, would you?
I do not. I don't know anything about that.
Tell him we're not investigating that.
Jarius, are you entering the so you sort of, as you approach and go past the well, you see a really gothic looking church, and on the front there's a extremely colorful stained glass windows. That's a side entrance. So the front's over here, but you notice a stained glass window depicting a dark-skinned woman with amazing, incredibly long white flowing hair, and in her hands is like I don't know what they're called, like crocheting tweezers, whatever they're called, crocheting needles. In her hands are like 2 pairs of those crochet needles, and like out of it is like this huge tapestry flowing out of it.
Is the door to this church open?
Yeah, it's open.
I'd like to go in.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, go in. So you go in, and it's empty, as it's not, I guess, worship day or whatever. And you notice somebody dressed in what seems to be holy attire, sort of like sitting and praying. And at the front, you notice 2 statues again of this of what looks like this figure at the front. There's also a little pyre that's lit, that's just sort of burning. Yeah.
Can I talk to this? What are we calling him? A priest? Question mark.
Yeah. You know, just he's his father, I guess.
Okay, Father. Can I ask you what your name is?
And so he looks up. He looks up from his prayer, and he says, I haven't seen your faces around here before. Welcome. I'm Father Jobe. If you would you like to know about the goddess Istis? And I assume you're here because you're interested.
Do you know the best wheels and steels?
He says to you, my son, I'm not I got his voice. His voice is gone. What's my son? Here we do not deal in materialistic things. Although no judgment passed, if that is what you are seeking. Our goddess Istis has provided for me enough that unfortunately there's nothing that I could offer you here relating to wheels and steels.
I don't know. You're talking about materialistic needs, and you dressed as chapel with some gothic architecture. So I mean, like,
is Wheelie a philosophical character? I thought he had -1 intelligence. What is this?
So, can I do a religion check of my own to recall my own interpretation of this goddess Istis?
Yes, you can totally do that. Roll religion.
Perfect.
Okay. So she's not one of the goddesses that you yourself are immediately familiar with. You know that she's sort of like one of the big ones in this world of Faerun, but not one that you necessarily have knowledge about.
Okay. Can I ask, Father Jobe, is that what you said his name was?
Yes, Father Jobe.
Can I ask Father Jobe if he's aware of the disappearances going on in town?
So he says... Okay, yeah. Quite aware. And we, the church, have really, actually every day since we've continually offered our help. And, we don't have a military force or anything of the sort. We're just lowly servants of Her Majesty, but just really doing our best as she would to us. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. We've lost a few members of our own clergy, and people still come to services, but obviously it's not the same. It's terrifying when one day your friendly face just disappears.
Who usually attends this church?
And he says, we have a pretty healthy congregation of maybe 30 or so people. At least that was before the disappearances. Now it's cut down to about half.
Father Jobe, would you be so kind in leading us with a prayer for those that have gone missing?
Oh, okay, sure. Let me get some. Let's get some mood music going on. All right. And so he says, certainly, my son. And Wheelie, are you praying too?
Yeah, sure. He's gonna say it out loud, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to follow along, but what's what do you look like when you're praying?
I guess he'll be kneeling down, I guess.
Okay. And what about you, Ganondorf? What's your praying stance?
Yes, I moved over to this table, whatever
Yeah,
this is
like
here.
it's like a little
kneeling-
altar thing.
Yeah, kneeling at the altar with him.
Okay, great. So he kneels down and he spreads his hands and he says, "O Istis, goddess of time and fate, we your lowly servants here know not what you have planned for our future, for we can only look backwards into the past. But we trust in your benevolence guidance, and we trust as you weave the threads of fate together to find an answer. I pray, should it be in your grand scheme, to find and return these people home. And should these two children of yours be a part of your marvelous plan, may you bless them as well, guide them as they seek for these lost sheep. We ask again for your guidance. May our paths be clearly lit. Amen."
Yeah, I'm in.
Thanks, God.
Of course, if you're curious about Istis, you can totally ask him about it. He seems like someone who's knowledgeable about this whole religion thing.
I do not have any questions at this time about Istis.
Do you have a bathroom here?
He chuckles and he gestures you over there.
So, I see something like what this is. Can I make like a, what is it, perception check or something?
If you want to investigate that would just be investigation check.
While Wheelie's investigating, can I do a sleight of hand with Father Jobe and do the little the little thumb trick with him, where like you?
Okay. I thought you could steal from him or something.
No, I was showing a magic trick of my thumb disappearing.
Okay, Jarius, it's a barrel. I mean, you tap it and it's a barrel. There's nothing too remarkable about it. I don't know what you were expecting.
Oh, I thought it was a hatchet.
Oh, no.
-2 intelligence.
May I investigate the outside of the church?
Yeah, you can investigate. Ganondorf, make it. Yeah, sleight of hand check. That's. You tell him that you're gonna show him a magic trick, and he looks at you really patiently and lovingly. And like you put your fingers together, and you just botch it. Like you just forget what you're even doing in the first place. Like somehow you end up slapping yourself, and he's just like he just like nods really nicely at you, if a little confused.
Father Jobe, are you impressed with my magic trick?
Oh, is that what that was? Oh, I'm joking.
And he says, I'm sure Istis is smiling from her heavenly chair above. Yes, Galadriel, you're investigating, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I see you just, like, notice the hatchet. Like, you just notice it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to roll for that. Okay, yeah, there's a hatchet there.
Can we go in there?
Yeah, you can certainly go in. There's no lock or anything. Do you go in?
Yes.
Okay.
I go in.
You go in and you descend. It smells a little bit dank and musty, and at the end of the tunnel of the stairway, it's a room illuminated with a bunch of candles, and you look around, and seems pretty clear to you. This is sort of like a catacombs. It's where they've been. It's where people are. I guess not buried. Is not the right word. Stored. I don't really know what it's called, but it's a catacombs.
Okay. I'm going back outside now.
Okay.
Dead people downstairs.
Don't dead open inside? I guess nobody got that. Okay.
Oof.
I'll just cry. Okay.
I fell flat. So have we killed time enough that it's nighttime?
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess Odin, Flinty, and Isarya, did you guys want to do anything before it's nighttime?
Can I walk the perimeter?
Yeah, sure, you can do that. You walk around, and the entire thing is just like a fence that I guess even because you're a halfling, you can't even see over the fence.
But I can climb.
You can climb. That's true. Is that something you want to do?
You do.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Wasn't she a halfling too?
She is a halfling. Which I guess in combat, I don't actually know what that means in terms of climbing. But yeah, so you scale the fence. Guy sort of looks over and he's like, What are you doing? Do you go over the fence or do you just like stand on top of it?
Just walking on top of it.
Okay, so you're just like balancing on top of it? Yep. Okay.
Now.
Is that an athletic check?
I think that'd be acrobatics. Yeah, roll acrobatics to see if you can balance on top of this fence. Okay. You slip and fall, but you manage to grab yourself, and so you're hanging off the edge.
Can I try to get up one more time?
Yeah, you make another strength check. And then make another acrobatics right after that. Okay, so you scale the fence. Odin's just watching intently, I guess.
I'm just gonna watch.
Okay. You prop yourself up, and you sort of with your hands outstretched, like a carnival tightrope walker, you stay balanced and start walking around the fence. And the guard is impressed. Flinty, what are you doing?
Can I go busk at the market? Like bagpipes?
Okay, hold on. Let me move you over there.
Earn some monies, maybe.
Yeah. All right, so
Okay.
I moved you over there. You're in the top right. Yeah, roll performance.
Immy is probably just confused
No!
seeing what people are doing.
Okay, I mean that's not like. Okay, so you play. What are you playing?
I'm just playing smooth jazz on the bagpipes.
You love those bagpipes.
That's the only thing I got in my inventory.
So over the din of the market, you don't seem to be attracting too much attention. A couple of people pass by and throw you a couple of gold coins. And I just for simplicity, we're going to be using gold as sort of like the standard currency. So I think for that, you're going to get... Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, you get 1 coin.
Yay.
You can put the gold. It's in the equipment slot. The thing that says GP. I think you just type directly and change that to 1.
Okay. Well, I'm richer than all of you now.
That's true. Odin,
Okay.
what are you doing?
This is still midday, right?
Yes, and then I think after whatever you do, it'll be night, and then we'll end the session.
I'm gonna sit under this tree and get out of the sun because I'm not a big fan of the sun. Gonna take a drink out of my Waterskin and watch Isarya play on the fucking fence.
Your Waterskin with the potent drink?
No. I stole Ganondorf's. He had the empty Waterskin.
Oh, I see. So you're just relaxing under the tree.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you got the little Foley work going on there. Huh? I heard the ice clink. Okay. Yeah. So y'all are doing your various things, and this is a good test to make sure it works before we're done. And then...
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, you should now have line of sight, and the screen should be darker. Is that correct?
Yes.
No, I have just a black screen.
Sorry, is that Dynasty? I might have messed up
Yeah.
something. Okay, hold on. I think I know what I did. Give me a second.
Okay.
Solid black screen for you. Perfect.
Now can you see?
I do see some stuff.
Okay. I think, let me just check your vision. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I know what I did. Whoops. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay, it looks like things are working. I forgot to give you vision permissions. Okay, so night falls, and oh yeah, what's up?
This? So, am I able to see everything I'm able to see, or should I ignore the things that because I can see into the chapel, but there's clearly a house in front of me and a fence and everything.
Right. So I didn't add line of sight to literally everything on the map because that's I just feel like because for basically for the houses that I didn't create interiors for, it doesn't make sense for your line to, because I just thought it wasn't fun to play with your vision blocked by those. But for this town, the vision isn't as much of a thing as it will be when we get into an actual battle, where line of sight actually matters. So unless I mess up, what you can and cannot see is completely intentional.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Okay. So great. We are going to call it here. I'm going to remind myself that it is nighttime and you guys are planning to break into the mayor's house. But yeah, thanks for coming. It sounds like you guys had fun, and I'm really glad that at least for those who this is your first experience, I'm glad that this that it's working out.
It was fun. Great job, Josie. I can't wait for next week.
Great job, man. I appreciate it. It
Yeah.
actually has been a lot of fun.
It's definitely fun.
I mean, honestly, my biggest fear was that I had this sort of plot line set up, and when you came in and was I want to steal from the barkeep, I was all right, I guess we're doing this now. And I was I guess we'll just never do one thing that I have. But no, I mean, this is just this is great. This is what I love. All right, cool. Well, I am going to head out because I have to wake up.